Stay tuned because Good Sports is coming next.
Good Sports was recorded live on Wednesday, February 17th.
Welcome to Good Sports, the Kansas City Sports and Fitness Show. I'm Steve Fish. I'm the publisher of Kansas City Sports and Fitness Magazine. Today we're here at Core Strategies Physical Therapy, Sports Performance, and Medical Fitness. The physical therapists at Core don't just treat symptoms, they treat the whole person. Treatment plans are customized specifically for each patient and their unique needs. At Core, they educate you about your issue, create and implement a program to help you and empower you to prevent future occurrences. Core Strategies Physical Therapy is located at 10400 West 103rd Street, just on the east side of 69 Highway. For more information or to set up an appointment, and no doctor referral is needed to set up an appointment, call Core at 913-322-4000 or visit their website, corestrategiespt.com. Now, before we get started with the show, I want to tell everyone that our current issue of Kansas City Sports and Fitness can be picked up at over 700 locations in KC, and it's absolutely free. Also coming up soon, beginning in March, KC Sports celebrates our 19th straight year as the Sports Illustrated of Kansas City. Now, in our hockey report presented by the Kansas City Ice Center, we write how the hockey rink will be celebrating Hockey Weekend across America from February 19th through the 21st, and about the Play Hockey for Free program offered on February 20th. In our Sporting Lee Summit soccer report, we write how Sporting Lee Summit kids got to play like the pros before a professional indoor soccer game in KC. Now, you can visit our website, kcsportspaper.com, to find a link to a list of locations where you can find KC Sports, and you can actually check out a PDF of the entire issue on our website, too. Now, I also want to mention that you can now get a free subscription to the digital version of Kansas City Sports and Fitness. All you have to do is visit our website, kcsportspaper.com, and sign up where it says Join Our Fan Club. Then watch your email for the next issue of Kansas City Sports and Fitness. Now, I mentioned we're here at Core Strategies Physical Therapy. We are joined in this segment by one of the owners who's also a physical therapist, Danielle Debbrecht. She is joining us today, and we're going to talk about one of the articles that's in the upcoming issue, or in the current issue, actually, of KC Sports and Fitness. But first, we want to find out a little bit about Core. Danielle, go ahead and fill us in. What kind of services do you provide?
Yeah, so we specialize in physical therapy and performance training and medical fitness services as well. Our patient population ranges from young kids in sports all the way up to, we have clients in their 80s and plus. So our goal is to help people move at their best throughout all stages of life.
Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah, important.
So you offer the physical therapy that is going on behind us right now. You also work with sports performance with individuals and groups and things like that. What kind of sports performance type of things do you offer to kids? Is it speed and agility, that kind of thing?
We do a little bit of everything. So our big emphasis, whether we're on the physical therapy side, which is really managing pain, and then on our sports performance and fitness side, we deal with populations who aren't in pain, but our unique skill set is looking at movement. And so we want to, in a pain population, we're going to look at how to control that movement and alleviate their pain. In all of our athletes, we're looking at where are they at risk for pain. So we're looking at movement patterns and identifying those risks before they become painful. On the flip side, identifying those risks also give us an opportunity to improve their performance, which is what everybody really wants. They want to do better, so it works out really well.
Yeah, you want to get out there and play the best you can, but you have to train your body to do it the right way.
Well, because you don't want to play just today and then suffer decades later because you can't move then. So it's about doing the best that you can for your body now, but also recognizing that you're going to have future needs as well. So eliminating the tendency to work into pain as a young athlete keeps you moving healthier throughout all stages of life.
Right. So what's the youngest patient that you will see here?
In our sports performance programs, we've had kids as young as 5 and 6 just working on some basic coordination and agility, kids that were struggling in some of their early soccer and that kind of thing that just need some developmental training just to kind of catch them up. Right. And then, we sponsor Hot Feet Track Club, and that track club has kids as young as 4 starting in their early programs all the way up to 18. So we work with a lot of those teenagers who are really wanting to progress their sports. Work with a lot of high school kids that are
Yeah.
dancers. We've got some
Really?
baseball players now. So kind of the whole gamut there.
Yeah, definitely, most
Yeah.
definitely. So how can people get in touch with you at CORE? Let's give out that information. I'll
So
certainly give it out later.
Yeah, my personal email is Danielle, spelled like Danielle, DANIELLE, at coreptkc.com.
Okay.
And then our phone number here is 913-322-4000.
Excellent. So in this month's issue of KC Sports, one of your physical therapists, Scott Moreland, he wrote about something that's a part of a lot of sports, and that is jumping.
Yeah.
It's an important ability, and if you have poor form, he says, that can lead to injuries, which we kind of touched on just a few seconds ago.
Yeah.
What are some of the possible injuries that anybody would see if they have the poor form for jumping?
Exactly. So when we look at jump landing, I mean, every sport requires that, whether somebody's just walking or jogging or you're playing any type of sport, you have those mechanics in the background. People are at risk for ankle and foot pain, knee pain, hip pain, back pain. It can all stem from the same pattern. Now, they're likely to get symptoms wherever they've had an injury in the past, because that tends to be their weak link.
Right.
So the same poor pattern in one person that has a history of an old hip injury may present as hip pain. For another person, it may be knee pain. They may be at more risk for an ACL tear because of that pattern. So it kind of depends on the individual and what their weak links are, on where they'll start to see symptoms with that pattern.
Yeah, or everything in some cases with
Well,
some people.
and some people, the longer they leave that pattern in place, they just chase pain from one joint to the next, and it's all related.
Right.
But then they come to us with pain top to bottom,
Yeah, because I would think you'd favor something different, and that would cause some
You
other
do.
issue.
Your body kind of goes, how can I get away from this pain? So they load up something else, and it's just fixed the problem, and then you don't have to chase it around. So
Right.
that's kind of what we do.
So is it true, and I've heard that females are a little bit more susceptible to injury
Yeah, especially
when jumping?
especially the traumatic injuries. Like we see that a lot with ACL tears, and part of that is just the ligamentous laxity that females go through during puberty. There's also a bit of shape of the pelvis that can
Right.
bias that stress on the inside aspect of the knee. So if their muscles aren't controlling that landing, they already had some factors that are stressing those tissues. So it's just really important for them to learn good muscle control from the get-go.
Right.
So that's not an issue.
Yeah, definitely. So female basketball players or
Exactly.
volleyball
Volleyball,
players
yeah.
or soccer players
Yep,
even.
yep,
It's
lots.
really important that they learn how to do it in the right way.
Yeah.
So Scott gave us some tips to help those athletes and parents of young athletes to avoid those injuries, and one of them is keep the landing soft. What does that mean?
Yeah, sometimes, especially in our runners, you'll hear them coming from a mile away. They have this real plodding, sound. And what the research shows is that when the strike pattern is loud, that there's more ground reaction force. You're kind of jamming that foot into the ground. Whereas when it's a light landing, you've got better mechanics in the background. You're getting better shock absorption through multiple joints, and there's not as much ground force going up through the joints.
Right,
So that's one of the quick tips that you can kind of go, gosh, I can hear my kid running from a block away. There's something you need to work on before it becomes symptomatic.
Another one is keep your knees in line with your toes. That sounds harder than easier said than done.
Yeah. A lot of times what we see is when people are landing from a jump, they'll have the knee drop to the inside, or the knees will kind of come together like they're kissing. And that just indicates a weak pattern within the lower extremity. Oftentimes that pattern is in the hip, but there are some other reasons that could happen. But when you see that pattern where those knees kind of come together, that's an indication that somewhere in the chain there's a weak link, and it's likely to lead to a problem at some point.
Right. Another one is keep control of your core. What does that mean?
Yeah.
And, it's incredibly important. I know your core is crazy important, but when you're playing football and you're diving for the ball, or soccer to make a kick and you're jumping and all that,
exactly.
That is important.
So a lot of times we'll see kids that maybe their legs look great on landing, but when they land through the spine, they'll have a big side bend or a deviation, or they'll almost arch their back backwards, or some people can really overflex at their hips. So there's lots of different strategies that people will use when they have a weak pattern. So if you're seeing these patterns of asymmetry where the body's getting off one way or the other, that's important to address really early, because that can lead to, again, a lot of the back issues. We also see that some of the trunk control issues link into risk for ACL ruptures down the line. So there's lots of reasons to address that when you see it.
Ouch. Yeah, definitely. And Scott gave us a test to see if we're jumping right. I think it was some sort of a squat or something.
We there's a couple different things we'll do. We'll have people start with just standing on 2 feet and just drop into a little small knee bend and see what the trunk does, what the hip does, what the foot does, those kinds of things. If it looks good on 2 legs, we'll progress them to a single leg and kind of look at that pattern now. When you're just on 1 leg, what happens to the body? And then we take that even further, to jumping drills and that kind of thing and seeing what happens. But it's really important to look at all those different aspects and see what the body does, in a more controlled environment, because in sport, you don't have time to think about it. You either have the skill there or you don't. Right. So it's better to build it in the background before you get to your chosen sport.
Make it muscle memory for some reason. Yeah, definitely. Are most jumps, we've only got about a minute or so, are most jumps from 1 leg, really? I mean, you can see that, I'm sure, in basketball, if you're going for a rebound, it's not. In volleyball, it may, if you're going to spike the ball, it might be.
All the time, people are landing, especially in your contact sports. You're in the air and somebody bumps into you and then you land on just 1 leg, So even if you planned it to be a 2-foot jump, it doesn't necessarily always end up that way in sport, So you got to be able to adapt to those changing environments. And, you have different surfaces that enter in and, those types of things. So the more skill set you have going in, the better you'll be able to adapt to the unknown in play.
We're going to take a quick break. You're watching or listening to Good Sports, the KC Sports and Fitness Magazine show. We're coming to you from Core Strategies Physical Therapy. They're located at 10400 West 103rd Street, just on the east side of 69 Highway. You can call Core at 913-322-4000 or visit their website, corestrategiespt.com. I'm Steve Fish. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. We'll have more of Good Sports after these messages. Come on out to the Kansas City Ice Center and skate on the outdoor pavilion or the indoor ice rink. And sign up now for Learn to Skate and Learn to Play hockey classes at the Kansas City Ice Center. The KC Ice Center is located 2 miles west of 435 on Johnson Drive. For more information on public skating times, to register for classes, or schedule an upcoming party or group event, visit kcicecenter.com or call 913-441-3033. That's 913-441-3033. These days, we're all so busy and many of us ignore our health and let stress turn into chronic pain. Dr. Lynn McIntosh of Kansas City Chiropractic can provide you with the proper care to relieve pain and stress, improve your health, and get more out of life. And right now, get a free chair massage with your initial visit. Just mention KC Sports when you make your appointment. For more information on Dr. McIntosh and Kansas City Chiropractic, call 816-753-4600 or visit kansascitychiropractic.com. Experience a touch of the Ozarks at Winterstone Golf Course in Independence. And right now, take advantage of off-season rates, $34 on weekdays and $42 on weekends, including cart. For tee times, visit winterstonegolf.com or call 816-257-5755. People today use hundreds of sources to find local information online. Have you Googled yourself lately? Bad online comments can irreparably damage you and your business. For a free online strategy review, contact Market Leverage at 816-600-0564. That's 816-600-0564. Plaza Liquor is Kansas City and the Country Club Plaza's first full-service liquor emporium. They offer an unparalleled selection of beers, fine wines, and a wide variety of liquors from their private stock. And right now, save 5% on craft beer, spirits, and wine with your coupon in KC Sports Magazine. Plaza Liquor is located at 4500 Bellevue, just west of the plaza. Visit their website, plazaliquorkc.com, or call and talk to one of their knowledgeable team members at 816-531-5900. Looking for indoor training facilities for your team practices? Contact Sporting Lease Summit to find out how you can rent space at Z Sports in Greenwood or at the Sporting Lease Summit Performance Lab. Visit sportingls.org for more information on spring camps, clinics, tournaments, and facility rentals. That's sportingls.org. Whatever your sport, maximize your performance at Core Strategies Physical Therapy, Sports Performance, and Medical Fitness Center in Overland Park. The team at Core specializes in rehab and performance training for all ages and activity levels. To learn more about Core's sports-specific programs, visit coreptkc.com or call 913-322-4000. The Army Reserve has more than 120 unique career opportunities, so you can add to your current strengths or build brand new ones. Join the Army Reserve and you'll make a difference in your life and the lives of others. Learn more at goarmy.com/reserve. For more information, contact the Greater Kansas City Company at 3720 Arrowhead Drive, Suite B. Telephone number 816-531-3818. There's Strong, and then there's Army Strong, paid for by the U.S. Army.
Welcome back to Good Sports, the Kansas City Sports and Fitness Show, the show that complements Kansas City Sports and Fitness Magazine. I am Steve Fish. Today we're here at Core Strategies Physical Therapy, Sports Performance, and Medical Fitness. The physical therapists at Core don't just treat symptoms, they treat the whole person. Treatment plans are customized specifically for each patient and their unique needs. At Core, they educate you about your issues, they create and implement a program to help you as well, and they empower you to prevent future occurrences. Core Strategies Physical Therapy is located at 10400 West 103rd Street, just on the east side of 69 Highway. For more information or to set up an appointment, and no doctor referral is needed to set up an appointment, you can call Core at 913-322-4000 or visit their website, corestrategiespt.com. Now, in our current issue of Kansas City Sports and Fitness, check out our Heartland Soccer Report presented by Market Leverage. This month, we feature a story on Dauda Kente from the Kansas Rush Youth Soccer Club, who was chosen as the Coach of the Year by the National Soccer Coaches Association, and he'll be joining us in an upcoming show. And in this issue, we honor U.S. Army High School top performers from Park Hill and Bonner Springs, and we feature a future soldier from Overland Park. You can pick up your copy of Kansas City Sports and Fitness at over 700 locations, including right here at Core Strategies Physical Therapy, at most golf courses in KC, at Z Sports, Plaza Liquor, Kansas City Chiropractic, plus you'll always find it at the Kansas City Ice Center. Now, coming up on February 20th, we will celebrate Hockey Weekend across America by taping a show at the Kansas City Ice Center, and the KC Ice Center is located 2 miles west of 435 on Johnson Drive. And on February 27th, we'll be at a new location. Come join us at the Dugout Baseball and Softball Training Facility. The Dugout is located in the Nolan South Shopping Center at 4466 South Nolan Road in Independence. Now, if you'd like to have us come out and tape a show at your business location, call Good Sports at 913-764-2050. And now you can view Good Sports on YouTube. Search for the Good Sports KC channel. Now, we're joined in this second segment by one of the physical therapists and one of the owners of Core Strategies Physical Therapy. She is Jennifer Westerberg. She's been a guest of ours in the past. Jen, thanks for joining us today. I appreciate you guys hosting us today.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
So we're going to talk... Danielle mentioned this, that you guys are tied in with the Hot Feet Track Club. Mm-hmm. Running is one of the things that you guys, obviously, in any sport, it's a plus.
Sure.
But by working with these kids that are in the Hot Feet Track Club to improve their skills, you're giving back to those people.
Yeah.
Who do you work with? What ages and what kind of things do you do to help them improve? We'll get into more details, but give us kind of the general.
Sure. Yeah. So Hot Feet Track Club was started by a local gentleman here, JT.
Yeah.
And so typically it's ranged ages 6 to 18 years of old. Years. Old.
Of age?
Yes, exactly. And this year, though, they're starting as early as 4. And so that's really exciting. They're doing what they call warm feet. So they're kind of teaching the kids some running techniques and some basics. But it's really cool. So we tend to work with a little bit more of the older middle school and high school age kids and help them with their technique, their running ability. They've got coaches that help them with the specific techniques, but we help with more the injury prevention and making sure that they're doing things from musculoskeletal point the proper way.
Yeah, it's interesting because you know about all these basketball training outside basketball, outside soccer,
Sure.
outside baseball. This is probably one of few for running and really Olympic track and field sports.
Sure, yeah.
Because they cover that, don't they? As
Exactly, yeah. And the runners do quite well. In fact, they just went to meet just a couple weeks ago in Pittsburg, Kansas, and so they were really excited. And the people down there in Pittsburg said, "So how are your runners? You think you'll do okay?" And I think they picked up 25 medals while they were
wow.
there. So they did pretty well. So they're a great team, and like I said, they've got great coaches, and JT is the kind of spear behind
Right.
the whole business has done really well.
Right. And so they also work on long jump and high jumps and shot put and discus and javelin, and then, of course, all the different running, the track and field running
Sure,
events as well.
yeah.
So what's the most common issue that you see with somebody, with these young athletes when it comes to their running or skill level?
Sure, yeah. A lot of times we'll see different issues as far as like hamstring strains or pulls. That's one of the common complaints we got from a lot of people. And one of the more basic things, again, is maybe they're just not drinking enough water, so they're getting dehydrated, because we're working with them in the summer. That's the summer months when they get together and do most of this stuff. But a lot of hamstring strains. So we work on the sidelines with the kids and get them loosened up and try to really work on kind of glute control, because that's one of the things they have a lot of issues with, and then core control, using those abdominals as best they can to give them the strength and the power to get through the event they need to do.
Right. So is there a difference between the sprinters and the long distance runners in injuries that occur with them, in how they run, how their feet hit and all that kind of stuff?
Well, yeah, and there's different schools of thought with all of that, but with more of the long distance, they have to have more endurance, obviously, because they're going to have to go for a longer period of time and maintain that speed.
Right.
Where sprinters, that's more of a power sport.
Right.
You've got to have the get-go right out of the gate and be able to handle that. So with some of the sprinters, we tend to see more of those hamstring issues, kind of hip flexor problems too, because they're using those power muscles and aren't quite ready and aren't quite maybe warmed up properly to do that.
Yeah, I know you'll see Summer Olympics are coming up this summer, and there'll be other things leading up to it, but I'm sure that you'll see that runner that just starts off and then hobbles off to the side.
Yep.
You think, okay, these are people that are at the
Elite.
super high level,
Yeah, right.
and they're hobbling off to the side.
Sure.
So yeah, I can certainly see that is an issue. So efficiency is really important as far as the sprinters go. That everything's just moving in that one direction, correct?
Sure, yeah. So they definitely have to, again, have that strength in their core. And we found that the stronger the abdominals are and stronger the core is, the better they do and the faster that they get. So, yeah, you're right, because it is very unilateral.
Yeah, that's anything that slows you down. If your foot comes down wrong or anything like that, that's going to just take up your time. So they make these really light athletic shoes these days. They're just super light and soft and pretty colors and crazy colors and things like that. Are those the type of shoes that you really should be using if you're casually running or obviously competing?
Right. It kind of depends on the person. Each person's a little bit different as far as what their foot mechanics are and whether they can tolerate that or not. That got really popular for a long time because I think it was trying to force people into more the barefoot running style. So it was more that midfoot striking as opposed to the heel strike, which, since we have shoes on our feet and nice cushion on the bottom of our feet, we tend to strike with our heel when we walk or when we run. And that's not the most efficient. It also puts a lot more forces on our knees and our hips. So they found biomechanically it makes more sense to strike in the middle part of your foot.
Right.
One way to do that is decrease the cushion underneath your foot or go barefoot. Well, I don't think we're meant to be barefoot running. We're not grown up in the Sahara and running like that since we were little bitty. We've always put things on our feet to cushion them. So I don't think that's the best thing overall for most of us. But then you also have to think about what's in the shoe as well. Is there some sort of a ankle or arch support in them that helps them rebound and kind of resupinate or get that arch back as they're pushing off and to get that power
Supinate
forward.
is what?
It's when the arch comes back up into the arch position.
Okay.
So pronating would be more flat feet, which is what happens when we land. That foot has to come down, and then it has to resupinate. So think about like a spring, where the spring has to come back up to power you forward.
Right.
And so those shoes, those minimalist shoes, don't really have that ability to do that.
Yeah.
Our muscles should do that, but sometimes they don't. And so sometimes you have to use something else, maybe an orthotic or something inside the shoe to help with that.
So you guys offer orthotics
Yeah, we
here.
do.
I noticed them back right behind me. You've got number of them. Fill us in on the orthotics that you might put a runner in.
Sure. So we use a company called Soul Supports, and we really think it helps kind of resupinate, like I just said, that spring technology. So we cast people when they're in their most supinated position, so that when they are walking or running, I mean, it doesn't have to be just a running sport. It can be for anybody that's up on their feet and moving. It helps them kind of reposition that foot each time they take a step, and it decreases the stress on the foot. And again, that goes all the way up the body, so that can affect the knee, the hip, the back, and on up from there.
Certainly. Well, I read a tip that kind of said you should spend at least $60 on shoes and expect to get 400 to 500 miles out of those shoes. I had heard like 200 miles or something like that. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, well, and it kind of depends on who you talk to. You know, maybe some of the shoe companies want you to have less miles on there and get another one. But I think realistically you could get probably 400 to 500 miles out of a pair of shoes. But again, if they're the minimalist, the smaller, kind of like you said, really light shoes, you're probably going to burn through those a lot faster because they don't have the cushion there. So you're going to have to get those sooner, maybe closer to 200 miles. But if you have ones that have a little bit more support, a little give, you can probably make them last a little bit longer.
Right. So some of the issues, we've only got about a minute or so, but some of the issues that are common for runners include plantar fasciitis, Achilles tendonitis, IT band syndrome, runner's knee, shin splints. Can you fill us in on, what kind of pain you'd feel for each or any of those?
Sure. So starting out with the plantar fasciitis, like you said, I mean, that's going to be in the bottom of the foot. So the fascia that covers the plantar surface of our foot can start to get really tight and constricted. And people will usually feel, a lot of their complaints are that first thing when I get out of bed, I hate to put my feet down on the ground because, it hurts. It's so painful. But once they start moving and stretching out, they do better. So a lot of times with those people, we have to do stretches, stretch out the calf muscle and stretch out that fascia. Achilles tendonitis, so you're going to get pain a little bit higher up the calf or at the base of the heel. You're going to feel that there, and that's going to be uncomfortable when you're walking because every time you walk, you're putting stresses and tension on that. And for all this stuff, what we have noticed is you have to look all the way up the chain. So they might be having pain in the foot or in the ankle, but are we looking at the knee and the hip because they might have alignment issues that's causing other stresses down below that are just causing the pain that you're now feeling. But eventually, you're probably going to feel pain in the other spots too if you don't get those addressed. So
certainly. So give us information on how we can reach you here at Core Strategies.
So our phone number here is 913-322-4000. Our website is coreptkc.com. You can find us on Facebook or on the website as well, and then call us anytime and get set up. Like you had said before, you don't need a physician referral any longer to get set up, so give us a call and we'll get you in.
Terrific. Well, thank you so much for hosting us today. That'll do it for today's show. I want to thank our Core Strategies again for hosting us today, and also the owners of Core and physical therapist Danielle Debbrecht and Jennifer Westerberg for joining us today. Be sure to join me, Steve Fish, again next time at the same time for Good Sports, the KC Sports and Fitness Show, and check out some of our other shows on YouTube. Search for the Good Sports KC channel. So until next week, be sure to read all about sports, health, and exercise in Kansas City Sports and Fitness Magazine. You'll find it online at kcsportspaper.com and all over KC, and it's free, so pick it up today.
Thanks for tuning in to Good Sports. Watch more episodes on the Good Sports KC YouTube channel. Optimal Health Center in Overland Park has sports medicine specialists who can get you back in the game. And right now, get a free consultation and half-hour massage with your coupon from Kansas City Sports and Fitness. To find out more about the wellness solutions available at Optimal Health Center, visit ohckc.org or call 913-888-3338. The Kansas Rush Soccer Club is now registering players for their youth recreational leagues. Kansas Rush offers recreational soccer programs for players starting at U4 all the way to U18. To sign up now and to learn more about their upcoming player development program, visit kansasrush.com or call 913-764-4111. Are you looking for information on youth baseball and softball? Kansas City Sports and Fitness Magazine encourages you to check out these sports establishments. Competitive youth sports without single sports dedication or excessive fees. Contact Teamwork Sports at teamworksportskc.com. Teamwork Sports is also your place for top quality uniforms for all sports. Get instant offensive production after 1 hour at Hitter's Eye Team Batting Training. Email info@hitterseye.com. Sign up now for girls recreational softball with the Girls Club of Johnson County. No tryouts, no fundraisers, and all girls play in every game. Email gcsoftball@sbcglobal.net. Training for the committed baseball player is available in Olathe, Lawrence, and Topeka. Visit nextlevelbaseballacademy.com for more information. Player and team registration is now open for the 3-2 Baseball Club of Kansas City, Missouri. Visit kc3and2.com for league registration and upcoming tournaments. The Dugout is an indoor softball and baseball training facility in Independence featuring 3 turf fields, 6 batting cages, 3 pitching tunnels, and more. Visit thedugoutkc.com for more details. Bring basketball fever to your own backyard or your driveway with your very own game court from Sport Court of Kansas City. For more details, call Sport Court at 913-963-7529 or visit sportcourtkc.com.